This is Chris Hollinghurst, and with me is my lovely wife Alicia. Say hi.
Hello.
Welcome to today's seminar on fantasy football. Fantasy football is a game in which you, the player, assume the role of an NFL general manager. The idea of the game is to draft the best possible players from any NFL team in order to score the most points. Today I will make sure that you all walk away with an insight into the importance of fantasy football as it relates to the fan experience and the NFL's culture. I hope this information will inspire you to get involved, and so I will then teach you the basics so that you can see that anyone can quickly join a league and have fun. Fantasy football is a phenomenon unlike any other because it has changed the culture of the NFL and what it means to be a fan. In terms of the impact on the NFL, a study by allbusiness.com has shown that fantasy football owners go to more games, watch more football on TV, and their interest level is more stable than that of a spectator who may stop watching if his or her team is losing, because fantasy football gives people a rooting interest outside of their hometown team. This shows that fantasy owners are of great importance to the NFL's economic success. The effect of fantasy football on fans cannot be overstated. The allbusiness.com study also points out that we are now relentless consumers of the NFL because the competition inherent in fantasy football gives incentive to become more knowledgeable and more involved with players outside of their hometown team. The result of this increase in fan participation is a culture shift in the way we as fans follow the NFL. Fantasy owners evaluate defensive and offensive schemes, player consistency, player matchups, and track consistency in order to achieve the greatest likelihood for success. We are also seeing an increase in the number of media outlets available to fans like NFL Live and Football Night in America, where the commentators provide in-depth analysis of teams and players. Fantasy football allows fans to have a greater understanding of the nuances of football and is a great learning tool for statistical analysis, which translates to a more loyal and informed fan base as it creates a culture of fans who feel like they are truly part of the game. Fantasy football, because the season is condensed to 17 weeks at 1 to 3 days per week, is the easiest fantasy sport to learn. The simplest version is a head-to-head league, which consists of 8 to 12 players and is done via the internet on sites like ESPN.com and Yahoo. The idea is to accumulate points through your players' real-time stats. You receive points for every in-game stat, such as touchdowns, passing yards, and interceptions. When all the NFL games for the week are done, all your points are added up and compared with that of your opponent. Whoever has the most points wins. You can also trade players with other owners and release players who are injured or underperforming. Furthermore, all websites that have fantasy football will rank every NFL player for you according to the previous year's stats and even give you projections for the upcoming season, making it that much easier to select the best possible players. Everyone gets 15 roster spots, and the starters will consist of 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 defense or special teams, 1 kicker, and an additional slot for an extra wide receiver or running back, and the rest are your bench players. There is no clear formula to win, but here are some guidelines. First, draft the best possible running back first, as he will usually be your highest scoring player. Next, you can either draft another running back or draft your quarterback. After that, go through your provided player rankings and draft the best available players. Fill out your bench after that, and save drafting a defense and a kicker for last. When the season begins, you have to constantly monitor your players' consistency, injuries, who they are playing, and when his bye week comes up in order to increase your chances of winning. To conclude, the information age of sports is upon us, and fantasy football is one of the best ways to take advantage of all that information and have a lot of fun in the process. Thank you.